Hey guys, I'm learning TFT and I'm sharing my learnings with you so that you can learn better and I can learn more effectively as well. In this video, I'm going to share with you two coaching VOD reviews that I did with Marcel on 7th Street Demon brand. One in which I approached brand from a suboptimal spot, and I believe that we can actually learn more from analyzing this first game than the second game where I played it from a good spot and performed really well. But by kind of analyzing both these scenarios, we get a better holistic understanding of how to approach playing this comp. So in this video, I'm going to go through high level how to play 7th Street Demon brand, the board, the augments, kind of the conditions that you need to approach it. I'm then going to go through the meta mindset of the day, how to create a winning mindset, which meta mindset, if you're new to my channel, is a psychological segment that goes into how to improve at TFT, but also how to apply these ideas to your life. And then I will dive into the coaching session with Marcel. So if you want to jump around, take a look at the timestamp in the description below. So conditions for brand. Given that it is such a highly contested comp, the play rate is pretty insane right now. 1.65 at Grandmaster Plus. I believe this gets lower when you go to Diamond, for example. Yeah, 1.46. You go even lower to Platinum, goes to 0.99. So depending on what level of play you are, it's going to be more or less contested. This is why it's so important to scout. In challenger lobbies right now, where I'm playing at, oftentimes brand could be almost always contested at least 2 ways, if not 3 ways. And if you are playing 3-way contested, you really need to make sure you're in a good spot for that. This is a game that we go into in the first game that I VOD reviewed with Marcel on. The games were from this last weekend, the sub-regional tournament that I played in. And so that's why it's so important to have either good econ augments, and I'll talk about augments in a sec, or your full openings loss streak or full win streaking. Because if you're playing contested 2 ways, 2 ways is manageable. But especially if you're playing 3-way contest and you don't have econ or streak, you will fall flat on your face because your opponents will be able to typically hit level 8 on 3-7 or 4-1, roll down before you are able to roll down, take those units out of the pool, which drastically impacts your ability to hit your units. For example, we can even do a roll calculator here. So if your desired unit is a 4 cost, you're at level 8. Let's say you're the first one to roll, and maybe let's just say everyone already has 1 copy of a 4 cost. But let's just say this is 0, but this is 8. Maybe 6. Let's say you're rolling on 3-7. And let's say on 3-7 you have something like 40 gold to roll down. You have an 86% chance of hitting one of your desired 4 costs. Let's say you have 30 gold, 77% chance. On the other hand, if you are rolling down on 4-2 after a bunch of other people have hit some, let's say there's let's say 12, 4 costs out of the pool on 4-2. And let's say someone rolled down 3-7 and maybe you have 2 opponents that already have, and they have, let's say there's already 4 copies out of the pool, right? So you go from a 79% chance to a 60% chance of hitting. And let's say there's 6 copies out, because in some cases, if it's 3-way contest, especially at high elo, your opponents will be holding your brands too, because that's the easiest way to make 2 out of the 3 brand players go bot 4, right? And so that's another reason that you really need to make sure you have good econ. Another way of looking at this is the average amount of gold that it takes to hit your desired 4 cost when there's a certain amount out of the pool. I believe off the top of my head, it's something on average, it'll take about 20 to 25 gold to hit your desired 4 cost if none are out of the pool. I think it's around 20. And then the moment you get up to 4 or 5 out of the pool, that gold to hit one of your desired forecasts goes up to something like 35 to 40 gold. So that's why it's so important if you're contested to have, and so maybe I'll talk about augments first. That's why Fire Sale, Free Silent, extremely good, Slammin', just any econ augments, dual purpose. And the other thing to keep in mind is that having a lot of items is also really important because you want dual carry in the mid game. Jinx and Brand, eventually Jinx items go onto Samira. Nico can have items. If you get to level 9, Ziggs and Kobuko can hold items. So there's a really high cap if you can get a lot of items. But the tough part is it's hard to get both items and a lot of gold. And if you had to choose between one or the other, getting that gold to make sure that you can hit is more important. Early game, you're playing around usually Zyra, Street Demons, pretty makes sense. One thing that I got wrong in the first game is that level 8, you actually want to play around Bruiser because your frontline is usually less strong, and playing around a Ziggs without Cyber Boss is not very good. It decreases his damage output significantly, and a Jinx 2 with items is going to be better than a Ziggs 2 with items, particularly because Ziggs will get the double the Street Demon bonus, and Jinx 2 is actually quite a strong unit. She could be almost like a 3.5 cost equivalent when played with 7 Street Demon. And then at level 9 is when you add in Kobuko and Ziggs. So that's kind of the high level of Street Demon Brand. I'm going to jump into the meta mindset of the day, how to create a winning mindset. So if you want to jump straight to the coaching session, take a look at the timestamp in the description below. Again, the meta mindset, if you're new, is a psychological segment and a philosophical segment where I talk about how you can get better at TFT over the long run. This isn't just short-term, oh, get a quick hit kind of thing. This is like how to create a process so that you can improve your ability to make consistent improvement over the long run, which is not just useful for TFT, but also useful for your life. I had a viewer comment that asked what my process is in creating the meta mindset. How do I research to find the quotes and where the ideas to come from? And I'm actually experimenting with something a little bit different today. Thank you for this quote comment, because a few years ago, like I read something like 100 to 300 books a year. Part of that was because about 7 or 8 years ago, I transitioned my career from startups to being an executive coach for startup founders, being a parent, being a coach for my kids' sports teams. And so I did a lot of reading into psychology and philosophy, and I accumulated all of that into a database. So kind of like what I'm doing for TFT, but from all my book notes. And anytime I have an idea of something I'm working through, something I talk to about with a friend, I have viewer comments, people message me on Discord. That's where these ideas come from. But one thing I realized when I typed up this comment is that I haven't really, I still read a lot and I still do a lot of book highlights, but I haven't been as deliberate in adding to my digital database, and like, because I do a lot of tagging, which allows me to query the database a lot more easily. And I haven't been doing that as much. So I'm going to start a process. I'm thinking about this where I go through new notes that I haven't really processed yet, and then integrate that into the meta mindset where that makes sense. And so today, the meta mindset is how to create a winning mindset. It's from a book, The Winner Effect, that's based off of psychological research and basically how to create a winning mindset, right? So Ian Robertson, the author, said, that sense in people with a high need to achieve of being almost physically impelled to succeed is not an illusion. Then the more driven by ambition we are, the greater the level of neural activity that will be fired up deep in the brain. And the critical aspect of this drive is that it comes from inside, from intrinsic motivation. It is not triggered only by external incentives. People need the push of extrinsic motivation to get them to the point where they start to feel competent and intrinsically motivated. So part of this idea is that if you think about some of the biggest winners, let's say in TFT, like Dish Soap's won Worlds twice. And he's talked about, I think one of his posts second win interviews was like, okay, how can I get better and win again, right? The thing with a lot of people that do get to the top, sometimes it is extrinsic motivation that gets people started, right? And the thing is, once you like win and you get that extrinsic hit, many people that get to the top are like, okay, now what? And if you're only motivated by the extrinsic, it won't keep you going. It's not a sustainable fuel. It's like dirty fuel. It's like coal or gas. Whereas clean fuel is intrinsic motivation, just the desire to continue to succeed and improve and to be ambitious beyond the extrinsic because you want to do it yourself. He then says, keeping motivated, therefore, means enjoying the intrinsic satisfaction of mastering day-to-day challenges, like the Japanese students fired up to test their intelligence and earn purely symbolic points. If you focus only on a distant, enormous goal, then you will devalue your small everyday achievements and make them seem worthless. So part of this idea, when we relate it to TFT, is if you think only about, let's say you have a goal to reach master or GM or challenger, whatever goal, or in life, you have some goal to switch careers or to get a promotion. If you only focus on this like kind of large and overwhelming extrinsic goal, it can make your day-to-day grind seem kind of meaningless and extremely hard. But if you can find intrinsic satisfaction and motivation in your day-to-day work, so for me, if I'm playing TFT and I'm trying to learn, it's not just about like, okay, how can I hit a certain rank? How can I qualify for a tournament? It's about the process, the journey. When I am playing the game, how can I find small satisfaction? Specifically, after I lose a game, how can I find enjoyment and satisfaction from learning from my mistakes and analyzing the game so that I can get something out of it, and that connects into the bigger picture. But more importantly, it's rewiring my brain to get this feeling of triumph, even when maybe I had a loss, right? Because if I can extract a nugget of wisdom from a loss, I know that that will connect down the road to the longer term achievements that I might have set as a goal for myself. The lesson is clear. No matter what I feel inside, if I behave as if I feel the way I want to feel, the feelings will likely follow. Then I might enter a positive feedback loop where other people respond to me in such a way as to confirm or support these initially faked emotions. So this is the idea of fake it till you make it. But there's actually a biological effect, and that's why in positive psychology, in leadership motivation training, there's actually the Wonder Woman effect, where if you take a power pose, like you stand up tall and then you do this power pose, not like hunched over, but you stand tall and then put your arms and take a wide, large stance. And you do that for like a minute, you'll actually start to feel more powerful and like have a more winning mindset. And when you behave and physically set your body in that manner, you actually unlock mental resources to actually feel like that. And so there's psychological research that backs this. And so the idea is that that's not just fake. If you want to actually enter a winning loop and winning mindset, start by behaving in a way that you're already a winner. And this is also why visualization is so important, that if you visualize yourself as your ideal self, as a winner, then you're kind of imagining that you are already a winner, then the feeling of being a winner starts to enter your mind, and then that creates this feedback loop. And once you get into that state, power makes us smarter, more ambitious, more aggressive, and more focused. These qualities are sharpened when we win, and they boost our chances of winning in the future. Power changes us in such a way that it opens doors in our brain that helps us gain more power. Power, in other words, empowers us to be winners through a positive feedback loop, a virtuous cycle of power-induced brain changes that make us even more of a winner in the future. And so I'm sure many of us have gone through TFT runs where like everything seems to be clicking, right? Like our minds are sharp, we're in flow state, we're able to identify optimal decisions, and results kind of follow from that. And inversely, if we are in a non-power loop where our bodies are hunched over, we're disappointed, we feel like we're low rolling, the inverse is also true. And so if we enter that state, we can go into the power pose, or more importantly, is just taking a break so that we can break that cycle, like break that loop so that we can reset and hopefully re-enter a powerful winning positive feedback loop. In older people who were relatively isolated, namely those who had the smallest number of family and close friends, whom they saw at least once a month, those with more pathology in their brains had poorer mental function while alive. But this was not true for those who had the richest social networks of friends and family. In them, there was no relationship between the gunk in their brains and their mental abilities while alive. And so while this is talking about older folks, there is research that shows that the more social we are, the more our brains function optimally and sharply. And so if you are playing TFT, or whether this is in life, your career, whatever you're trying to figure out, if your brain needs to be running at optimal capacity and performance, your social life matters. So this idea that like, oh, you could be just a genius by yourself, like that is likely the exception, not the rule. If you want to be optimally performing with your brain, having friends and family and interacting with them is actually really important, because that tells your brain to be wired in a way to perform optimally. And so if we view our friendships and family members and interaction, social relations, not as this like, if our goal does not have to do with that, we should be viewing our social relations as being supportive in our goals and mental efforts as well. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed the meta mindset of today, how to create a winning mindset. I hope that you got something out of it. I would love to hear your thoughts, comments, questions in the comments below. And with that said, I hope you enjoy the video coaching session with Marcel. It's going to be 2 separate games. The first one is one in which the optimal conditions were not there, which I believe I actually learned more from. And then the second game had more of the optimal conditions and probably more of a high roll, where we can see what the upside is when things do go well with Street Demon brand. So enjoy.
Do you have any thoughts on Egg Portal? Like how
Um,
it may or may not change your the way you play the game?
I think just doubling down on what you just said, avoiding lost streaks so that you have more time for your egg to hatch.
Yeah, ideally you have more HP. So I actually think playing comp set, save HP on stage 3. It makes the comps like your Slayers and TF a little better, because
Right.
then you get to, without like stress, pick your 9 cost egg. I don't know if I haven't looked through the egg cash outs, or I don't know if they even exist, but comparing like the 9 and the 13 and thinking if 13 is actually takeable, but it at least makes 9 very, very takeable when you win stage 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're not checking Exo, but I think, oh, you do. Okay. Repulsor. I think Exo's a lot less important to check now. It's mostly just seeing if you have like good items for Vexotech. Unless you're trying to play MF Zeri, which it seems to be like a maybe playable comp, unclear.
That, and I've
But
still been playing a good amount of Fury. I don't think I got the opportunity in
oh, fair. Yeah,
tournament,
true.
but like
Mhm.
today I played a bunch of games, and I got my only first. I had 2 firsts today, and they were both in the Fury games.
Oh, nice. Yeah, with the pulse stabilizer, I
Yeah.
assume. Nice. Okay. What are we seeing? Yeah, good scouting. I like it.
I was trying to click that guy's, but I should have just gone team planner.
I'll see his Exo.
Yeah, he kept on swapping
Because he kept moving it.
it.
What would I hold here? Probably the no component yet. Probably the Zyra's highest prio, and then the other one is, I mean, you're never selling the Galio, right? So it's always just
Yeah.
probably Zyra Galio. Yeah, it's fine as well. I mean, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that much because you're not selling anything.
Yeah, and then I probably want to hold Morgana over the Kindred. I assume. I
With
don't
bow,
remember
yeah,
what I did.
yeah, yeah. I think this is fine. Mm, isn't Kog'Maw better than Morgana here because you have bow chain?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Cog is actually since he's been buffed and since Vanguard Marksman's pretty good, he's probably one of the better item holders now for going into Aphelios. So I would prefer Cog over Morg here because Morg is like very hard to hold with these items. Morg is very good, but since the buffs, but like there's like no items here for Morg.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Would you sell Rengar to hold on to?
I don't think so. This is full Titans. You have if you're ever like if you get Artifact,
Oh
there's
yeah.
you also have Zyra, right? So like there's also some way you use Street Demon somehow early game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I'd rather have this be Kog'Maw. And then now you have Cog, Silas, Skarner as your strongest board, right?
Right.
That's fine though. I mean, either way you're weak. You have no pairs, so
Mm-hmm.
it would be your strongest board, but we're not. It's not like we're committing to it. What is? Yeah, now we're like truly committed to just like being super weak unless our augment drops to something. Um, I think this is fine. Like if you're rolling your only pair and your Cypher unit. I mean, you could play Rengar. I don't think Rengar is that great, but you could.
Yeah. I have not played any Rengar this patch.
Doesn't matter that much. Like I don't mind this sell hold. Like none of these really matter that much. What are you thinking here?
Um, Basically just try to get gold. Like risky moves seems risky given that my board's not very strong, so good for something's probably better for econ than risky moves in this spot. Although risky moves like could like if I want to go towards probably brand here, risky moves does give me carousel priority. But I mean good for something I'm probably gonna lose anyway. I don't know which one would I wish like good for something would show you like the gold amount so I could compare
Yeah,
it
so you can
later.
see over time how much it helps, how much it's actually helping. I think risky moves you can't really take here because you are too weak. You lose too much HP. You drop too much in HP in my opinion here.
Yeah.
That's what I see most other players do as well, where they really avoid this even though just because if their spot is quite weak, which here we are. So I would roll right here. I would want to base because you can kind of play anything with these items, assuming you're not playing Rengar. I think it's
Yeah.
easiest to play Vanguard Marksman with these items because you need more gloves to play. Like you only have one component to play Brand here.
Mhm.
You still could, but I would want the decision here to be informed a lot by what the lobby might be playing in case the lobby can give you free info, right? Like maybe 3 people already slammed all their items, and it's so much easier to decide like which direction you're going. Um, but yeah, I would want to roll. I think rolling middle is. I think left is better than middle in my mind because you're bored. Like you're gonna want to buy Cipher, you're gonna want to buy some stuff. So like it's hard to convince you middle is amazing.
Yeah. I think
So
at
yeah, I
this
would take.
point in the tournament, I was not that familiar with the Vanguard Marksman line. It's just like I
Oh,
think I was
okay.
over indexing on brand.
Gotcha.
And so we'll probably see that I played brand from way too contested spots. And then day two, I didn't play any brand and did way better.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Vanguard Marksman is very, very good still.
Yeah.
Um, so this first guy is, I guess it's hard to read a lower than Master Lobby, but you may as well try it, especially when it's obvious. Like this guy is probably playing towards AD. It's hard to say though. He even has an anvil. This guy is rolling. Oh, it's not Fury, right? Probably
Yeah.
with a dupe
Hodge.
and
I
this
think
thing.
that this guy was pulse stabilizer,
Yeah, he's
the
probably not
Fury.
Fury. Yeah, this is the AD guy we just said. This guy is Vex brand, right? One of those.
Yeah.
Um, Probably Vex. Sorry, I missed one player. The Yeah, based on what we've seen, I would say it's hard to say. So yeah, I think just take left and just chill. I think it looks good to me, which is what you do. It looks like,
It seems like there were
and then
no obvious Vanguard Marksman players.
Yeah.
And do we level here to just get more EV on the gold for something?
Oh, I feel like let's see, 679. I am down to like play 2 units here, right? I think you lose 0.5 gold by playing 2 units out of 3 because because every unit is just 0.5 gold, right?
Yeah,
In expectation.
for 2 rounds.
But then if you make 10, you're making one
Guaranteed. Yeah.
more guarantee. Right? It's not gonna add up to be more. And then also like being at 10 potentially allows you to make 20, allows you to make I feel like leveling here is don't you make less gold leveling here than just making your econ threshold? We can do the math in a sec here, but
Okay.
for me intuitively, I would think that just making your econ thresholds and making even if you're playing fewer units will make you richer. Especially because you're much more likely to loss streak. The other thing, right? You're much more likely to loss streak, which you want to do anyway when you have a Galio in your week.
I see. On the flip side, you could also argue that leveling gives me higher odds of hitting like Raven and
Ah, true.
and it doesn't seem like the gold difference is that big. Because
Oh,
especially if
really?
you're playing only 2 units here, you get the extra gold, but then the EV on 2 units dropping is 1. So isn't the trade-off actually the same?
I think you're really not factoring in the loss streak gold. By leveling, you're never gonna loss streak here, right? Assuming you're playing against a lobby where one player is playing like 7 out of 8 players. By probability, I would assume someone's gonna be weak in 7 out of 8, one of your opponents, and they're not gonna level, and you're gonna beat them. And so then your loss streak gold is gone. In compare, like your leveling here kills your loss streak.
I
So
see.
then you make a lot less gold. The combination of maybe missing your econ threshold and lost streak gold, I think, makes you a lot poorer. It also kills your cipher itself, right? Even if you hit the Draven and the
Yeah,
LeBlanc,
yeah.
you may make. Let's say you hit by 2-3, but if you win 2-2, it doesn't even do that much for you. Like I'm down to just fully commit. If you're not down to play melee items here, I feel like you just fully commit to losing.
Okay. Yeah, I buy that.
This guy's brand. Yeah, I kind of don't like this spot because now it's like we're in the spot where we're not rich and not even guaranteed to loss streak. Yeah, now we're in this like weird mixed streak spot. Um where like yeah, you're making units, but then like where do you it's hard to go anywhere from here because I feel like the items are you can't even slam anything for a while unless you're willing to slam stone plate, which I guess is fine, but then you lose a lot of your good for something value. Uh like here you want LeBlanc, right? I assume with tier.
Yeah. Or just tier in general.
Yeah. I think I would value what would you take? You would take 3 cost here or LeBlanc? I think I would take LeBlanc tier here over 3 cost here.
Although since we're winning is like you mentioned, getting Cypher in when I'm winning isn't as valuable. Like if let's say we do get 3 Cypher, like do we even play it?
I feel like this board has little potential in my mind, but
Oh, because we actually do
I,
have
I
3 Cypher if we pick LeBlanc
yeah, I would just play Cypher and like
and just intentionally lose from here on.
yeah, I think so because I don't think this board has that much potential for stage 3 anyway.
Okay, let's see what I do.
Yeah, I think if you're on a 3-win streak here, then I'm down to, and like some more synergies that are good, then I'm down to not. But here, I feel like I would likely just play.
Are you like inting?
I would just play Zyra to kill units, and then Cypher, and then I'd probably sell
Poppy?
probably the Poppy, yeah, because you and then you can sell the one Zyra and keep the Mundo. Yeah, because I feel like this win streak is so fake. Like, given your item situation and given your unit situation, what's the likelihood you streak through stage 3? It's like it's super low in my opinion. Even in a weak lobby, like even in a low rank lobby.
Is there a world where it makes sense to slam Shojin stone play here just to go for streak?
I mean, I think if you've scouted and you feel like you're that much stronger than the lobby, then I guess. But your augment even incentivizes you to not, right?
Yeah.
Everything's I think, in my opinion, everything in the slot is telling me to not play for win streak. You don't really have that great of a board. You have Cypher. It's like 3 things, right? You don't have that amazing of a, like, if you had, I don't know, like Echo Pair and Mundo 2 and like Zyra 2, then yeah, I'm down. If you had an augment that helps you win streak, I'm also down. If you didn't have Cypher, I'm down. If you had item slams, you have like no amazing items. Like, you have few amazing item slams. You have, yeah, you have Cypher. I feel like everything's kind of adding up to me believing you should play Lost Streak here. You should not slam. What's strongest here? Yeah, it's probably just Zyra.
And from here, I'm basically thinking Brand.
Based on what people are playing, isn't Brand kind of?
Yeah, so that's the main thing. And I guess if I didn't slam, then I could have.
Wait, this. Oh, how are? I guess I'm surprised that you think Brand is a good, like, that you thought Brand is a good line from this spot. I feel like from looking at this lobby, to me, Brand looks like a 6.0 AVP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's
I guess
at
what
least
would you
two-way
estimate it
contested.
as? What would you estimate your Brand AVP here to be?
So I forget what augments the other Brand players had, but I don't. Yeah, this guy's pumping up.
Pumping up, yeah. He's pumping up likely 100 streak, right?
Oh yeah.
He's 100 streak.
And then this guy spoils of war.
And then the guy you fought on 2-5, I think, is also Brand. This guy.
Right. I guess I thought I had a better econ augment, but it's not like I was really optimizing it that well.
He's making 30, right? He's making 30.
Yeah.
We're making 12.
Although I'm
So
level
this guy's
5,
gonna
he's
be
4.
yeah, at least as good of a spot as you. Probably slightly better in terms of gold, right? Because of his gold, because he didn't level, right? And he also got some gold from this. And then this guy is also Brand, I think. This guy, right?
Yeah.
Who this guy's a good player. He's a challenger player. So then this guy is likely going to manage his econ not poorly. 20 gold spoils, like, upgrade backline. I feel like he's in a similar spot as you. So here it's 4-Wade. I feel like Brand looks like a really, really hard line to play here. Like, even here, I would consider just pivoting into Xayah. Even you have the Shojin's land, Shojin bow.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we could just go to the next game or jump to 3-2 augment to see if that changes anything.
Yeah, you got all these rods though, so it's gonna be hard to convince yourself. I guess you could Rage Blade into a Felis, but your items are all split now. It's hard to convince yourself out of You could. It's hard to Vex as well from here. Yeah, now it's quite difficult. For Cypher, let's just see how this game goes. This guy might be pivoting Vex somehow. We made a Gunblade. It's hard to say.
Yeah, that guy does end up pivoting that.
I mean, Little Buddy's Brand sounds good.
Agreed.
I assume you just take that. If you are a committed Brand, you just take this.
Yeah.
We should be trying to lose. Looks like you are. Why aren't we holding the? Wait, why aren't you holding the Rengar pair here? I feel like you hold Rengar pair here.
Yeah, I don't know why. I guess I was thinking I would want to make Galio too to just like preserve HP.
Oh, I wouldn't think so. Typically, if you're like Lost Streak committing
too strong.
Yeah, they might be too strong, and also you just want the Rengar too. Hey, Rengar 2 is a good unit to have on your board, and you want the upgrade on the 7th Street Demon board. Like, you might drop it. it depends who you drop for the Samira, but sometimes you keep him, you drop the Jinx. It just depends.
And maybe I'm also holding the jacks because normally I would sell the LeBlanc and the jacks, right? But maybe I was still thinking I could pivot into Vex if I hit
For
Vex.
Vex. Yeah, I think it's more so the Galio in my mind. You sell the
Okay.
Galio for the Rengar.
Okay.
I think making Vi 2 is the easiest one to like make because it doesn't even you don't even lose gold. You
Yeah.
lose gold by making these, right? The
Mhm.
LeBlanc's also a little more convincing because you can maybe kill you like 1 or 2 more units, which even gives you more cipher
Yeah.
intel. But I feel like the Galio is what for me, I find like it might break your econ thresholds. It might make you not level on 3-5 if you really wanted to, or 3-6. You lose the 1 gold. It doesn't even often kill units because it's just it's I mean it'll help a little bit, but I feel like LeBlanc 2 helps a lot more. So I'm down to just hold the Rengar there. Okay, it's all fine. I assume you want the guy gets glove Vex. Oh, he's last pick. I mean, it's hard to deny this Vex though, but you could. I don't know if Vex is that good at little buddies though. It's like okay, Vex for
Yeah.
tier.
Ideally, I would want glove here, right? There's no glove.
Yeah, no, but I think this is fine given your components that you had. Mm,
You don't like this level?
no, it's fine. I'm just thinking of
Okay.
what unit to play. I think it's fine. It just depends on pool, but I think I would probably level here.
And then, are we willing to hold Vex at passive econ for more outs, given that brand's so contested?
Yeah, I think so. I think I
Okay.
think I'm happy with this hold. Again, Rengar, but I mean, if you're not willing to hold it, then it makes sense. You're not willing to hold it now. Now you definitely have to hold the Echo right over one of these guys. Probably the Zyra. Yeah, like Zyra allows you to hold save a remover, but it's fine if you make another Zyra too. But
Yeah.
it's fine. Like,
Just debating whether. Okay, I actually did hold this here.
oh, I see. So now you're much more likely Vex, I assume. You have the Vex, which I think is good. You just take this.
And then I
You have
find a
Hog.
brand.
Oh, you sold the. Oh, you sell the. Oh, you even
Wait, what
sold
did I
the.
sell?
You sold the Jacks.
Oh, whoops. Oh, because I
So
saw the
now it's one.
brand. Oh, okay, you would
Oh, but you're
flex
only one.
both. Yeah, yeah,
You're 1-1. You're 1-1, right?
yeah. That's
Like
true.
here, I think. Hey, I think this is a spot to flex both. And in fact, your items are more likely Vex here. I think because you have you're
Blue. I
missing
have
one
blue
component
buff.
of like basically this
Yeah,
Vex, right? You're just one gunblade away. And
yeah,
also you're less contested on brand than you
mhm,
are in Vex. I think rolling here is fine if you're trying to play both Mordekaiser. Let's see. Oh, you don't even. Oh, you're already hard committed. But it looks like you're hard committed. You're not flexing both
maybe. Yeah, I agree. I should have been flexing both.
because
But
you
I
don't
mean,
buy the Jin. You don't.
yeah, the fact that I sold the jacks too, I think.
Yeah.
But then this rolled down. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like this is because you don't even have the. You don't even have. I guess you could argue if you get one glove, then you are a 3-item brand here. I guess if you're GS.
Hmm.
So in that sense, maybe you're convincing yourself you have basically like this brand. Um, I assume gem here is best. I'd have to look at the stats though. What would you think here intuitively is best for brand?
Uh, this. I mean, I feel like Street Demon Aegis just rarely ever works out well. I guess unless you have like that middle inverted triangle. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
but even then, like your signature hexes aren't optimally. So like, yeah, probably Gem
yeah,
or Moonstone. I already have anti heal. Uh,
yeah.
I mean the
You got
weird.
gloves.
I feel like a lot of yeah. I feel like a lot of Street Demon is like it's like a good amount of upfront burst, right? But I mean, I guess just more damage is fine.
I feel like in the brand comp, you always want more damage, in my opinion,
Yeah,
because
just like one shot people.
yeah, the way you lose is like brand leaves a bunch of units at like 1 HP, and then they kill you,
Yeah.
and then before you get to clean them up. So I feel like more damage is always like kind of nice. Whereas like Moonstone, yeah, I like more damage a lot more than Moonstone. I have to look at the stats. Let's pull it up just to like validate our
Uh,
hypotheses. 7th Street Demon, like exclude Rengar 3. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Items. Let's do gold plus support split. Yeah, gems best. And then
That's the best
wounds.
period. Huh.
Yeah, I would expect that, right? Because you already have a lot of stats, and so this multiplies your stats.
Mhm.
Whereas this is giving you a flat shield, which doesn't even synergize very well with because your board already has a lot of HP, right?
Right.
This is the only one that actually multiplies. It's like this if you don't have shred, and then this multiplies your HP. This actually makes sense if you think about it, because this multiplies off of your high base HP, right?
Mhm.
The healing. This multiplies off your stats. The rest is flat stuff. I guess attack speed, you could argue, multiplies your high stats. I'm surprised this is quite low. I guess you can't use it sometimes on your whole backline, depending on where
Yeah.
your signature hexes are. But yeah, this one makes sense, right?
What if I was angling Vex? How would that change the analysis, if at all?
Oh, this is also insane with Vex because you have no amp, right? In Vex.
Right. And Vex is like kind of a stall comp anyway.
Um,
Kind
I think
of.
a lot of it is just you lose lack damage oftentimes in Vex as well, because
Hmm.
the way you lose typically is that the Vex also just takes too long to kill frontline units. Um, so with Vex, I'm pretty sure I've searched this. What is this on maybe on last patch, but I forget now. Vex Varus Mord. We just do this. Yeah, Gem is very good as well because mostly because you just don't have amp.
Yeah.
You also don't have AP, right? Which is why Chalice is good.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Okay, let's see if you. I mean, here the roll down should be pretty simple. I think you have to buy Cho'Gath, right? Isn't Cho'Gath your +1 potentially, or Mord?
Cho is my +1.
It's typically
Oh,
Bruiser
for four
or
bruiser.
no. It's a 7th Street. Like what is your 8th unit? It's typically a Bruiser, right?
Isn't it usually Ziggs?
Oh, no, what I've heard is it's always it's either Gragas or Mord or Cho'Gath.
Oh, just because okay, because you lack frontline, then you don't need more damage. Okay, I've been
Um,
playing that
I
right
think
then.
it's more that if you have excess AP items, then I think it can be Ziggs. But if not, I think typically a better duo is Jinx than Ziggs, because Ziggs is just two strategists, no cyber boss.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure Jinx 2 is stronger than, assuming it's you don't have Jinx here, so it's hard to say, but I
Yeah.
think Jinx 2 is stronger than Ziggs 2. It's 7th Street Demon, and it can use Shojin, can use Morello here. The last item is probably I don't know, it's hard to say at this point, looking at your items. It could even be blue buff, right? Blue buff Jinx is pretty good.
Okay, and especially if Nico is going to be contested, like I would like a Cho two. If I like a Cho two came out of nowhere, which I would have had Cho pair here, like I would not be against that.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I have not been holding Cho at all on my Street Demon roll down, so
I've seen Show 2 a lot on the Street Demon board to people play. Let's see. So then here, our spot's already kind of fucked because like we kind of missed, and then everyone now is already caught up and rolling.
yeah.
So a pair of fours is really good, but like you have to hit. Isn't this the best thing you can hit, Brand? Oh, you have no Nico. I feel like you have to just take this anyway and assume you hit Nico, but because now you can actually beat people on 1 star. I think this is so much stats on your guys. I guess we don't have shred, but so now you can take cleaver, I guess.
Okay, I've been overvaluing I think six then on this board.
Oh, I think Ziggs is not that great on this board. On level 8. On level 9, he's good. On level 8, I feel like he barely does anything.
Okay,
Unless you have like you have no other potential dual carry and you have AP item excess. Um yeah. This is let's see. I'm not sure yet if Samira 1 or Jinx 2 is better. I'm not 100% sure. You got your Nico items. Let's see. You already have shred, so it's probably I like Crown Guard Adaptive and then Open Belt.
Okay.
Oh, this is kind of hard. Now you're forced to go Crown Guard.
I was thinking I
Oh,
wanted to keep the rod for JG, and then I could move
oh,
GS onto Samir later.
oh, wait. Oh, what do you think is a better spike for your board on stage 4
Right.
at 35 HP? Is it third item Nico or is it optimizing the third item on? I feel like it has to be three item tank. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel like it has to be three item tank. I agree that you really want the JG on the brand, but I feel like at 35 HP, you kind of have to finish three item tank here.
Okay, that makes sense.
And like worst case scenario, you settle for a GS brand. Yeah, especially because like if you look at the makeup of your board right now, it's 5 backline items and 2 frontline items, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like you just want to complete the tank. So I assume you go for JG here if you can get it. Yeah. Okay.
And this should be Kobuko over Ziggs.
I think so. Because like 2 to 3 charges doesn't even do anything, right? Isn't it like a really, really, really small increase? Good
Yeah,
luck.
that sounds right.
Yeah, from what I remember, like the even 2 to 3 and 3 to 4, I've always remember. I remember look really underwhelming.
It's like 3% damage amp and
Yeah, if you just like compare that to a glass cannon, like it's barely like a quarter of an augment
Mhm.
of a silver augment.
And especially since I have double itemized backline, I just need more frontline right now.
Yeah, and
How,
Kabuko is pretty good now, right? I think.
how did I win that fight against Brand 2?
Oh, let's see. Mana Flow, Spirit, Link, Echo 2, Shred. How do you win this? I assume you're more clumped. He's more clumped, and your Samira kills everything. Yeah, his Samira is hitting 4 units. Your Samira is hitting his entire board, I think, right?
I see.
Is that not why? I think maybe.
Okay, so just better Samira positioning on my part. If he had his Samira mirrored like vertically across, then his Samira would have dashed similarly to mine.
Let me see.
Is it also that I had just the support items?
Oh yeah, the support items are definitely factoring in here as well.
So like the
I think.
shielding? Because he's also playing Ziggs.
Mm,
Like it's literally the same board, I guess, except I have Nico itemized instead of.
I mean, the biggest thing that stands out to me just looking at the board is that his Street Demon forces him to clump more. Like the Samira value is also like I think in large part like you're guaranteed to hit his whole board because of his Street Demon hexes, right? And yours are like a little more spread out.
Doesn't the damage still like it's the same amount of damage that's thrown out, right? It's just split across more units, so it's like a little less damage per unit.
Is there no flat amount per? Let me see.
It's
Units.
like the amp is like the number of bullets that she throws out, right? Or like affects the number of bullets.
Oh,
Actually,
true.
don't know.
Yeah, I guess either way it's spread out. Mm. Oh, it's also he's lacking some upgrades, right? You have quite a few more upgrades. He's Mundo 1, Zyro 1, I guess. And you have Mundo 2, Zyro 2, Jinx 2.
Okay, so Jinx 2 also better than Rengar 2.
Yeah, I think Jinx 2 better than Rengar 2, Zyra 2, of course, better than Zyro 1. Like you have a lot more HP in your board, right? Like each 2-star is not like a Warmog's worth of HP.
Is it really?
Each 2-star. Let's look. Zyra 1 versus Zyra 2 is how much HP? Zyra 1 versus Zyra 2 is 500 to 900 HP. And then you multiply the stats from Street Demon as well. It's like 500 more HP, right? Ish.
17% or 34% more HP for Street Team for 7.
But yeah, it's like 450, like something like 450 more HP on Zyra.
Mm.
So even just on that one, and then if you look at the Mundo, who also scales of HP, it's another like warm. You're basically up like 3 items on him, right? Just by star level, 3 warmugs
Okay.
on him.
Yeah, in that context, that makes more sense for my earlier decision that I should have been holding Rengar pair as well. I didn't realize how big of an impact specifically for Street Demon having those upgrades does.
Yeah, I think it's not just for Street Demon, but like you want those. Like for example, if you're playing Vex and you had a Gragas, and an option to hold a Gragas pair, you have to sell the Galio for the Gragas pair there.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing for like a Mordekaiser pair. Same thing for like a Jax pair. Just because you want those 2 stars.
Yeah, I feel like I would do that in that case as like more traditional frontline. I just kind of always saw Rengar, especially in Street Demon. I feel like when you get to this board with um, Samira, you usually throw out Rengar, right? So I've kind of viewed Rengar as like kind of expendable, but he still is a decent meat shield that does damage.
Oh, is Rengar better than Jinx? I feel like with no items, I feel like Rengar is. We could look at the stats. That actually is the best way. I would assume that Rengar is better than Jinx, but let
I
me see.
thought Jinx does more damage.
Uh, Jinx 0 item. Oh, actually, how do I do this? I have to like look at if I guess if you have Brand and Samira, and you exclude Street Demon Emblem, exclude Rengar 3, exclude Jinx 3. Let me show my screen. I feel like if the units are naked in my mind, what I would think is that the HP of Rengar and his tankiness through his just higher base resistance is probably more valuable than a naked Jinx. That's what I would think. Looks like they're basically the same.
He's split by star level. Wonder if that makes it.
Jinx 2 is plus 0.05.
You can just do a
Rengar 2.
Jinx, comma Rengar to have them both show up.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Looks like Rengar 2 is slightly better, yeah.
Oh,
Just because if it's naked, like how much I feel like the damage and the difference in DPS is not that large, but the difference in um resistance or in EHP is quite high, right?
okay, yeah. Put Rengar over Jinx. Although Jinx is usually your item holder until Samira. I also wonder how much of that is because you put your AD items and you don't want to burn a remover.
Hmm. Maybe. I feel like in my mind, like what is a naked Jinx doing over a naked Rengar when Rengar's just a lot more like I guess here's like how a more like precise way to put it, which I would need to know. Like I mean, I guess it's hard to say you should know this. I don't think I maybe, but like I would rather just know exactly how much more HP the Rengar is. I feel like that would convince us more. Make us more sure of it. The Jinx is 1170 with base 2525. The Rengar is 1350 with 5050.
Mm.
Isn't this so much more EHP?
What
50
about
50 versus 25 is infinitely more, right? You're
well?
double EHP basically, right? I think. I
Yeah.
forget my math on the resistance and how that affects your EHP, but I would think looking at this is like this HP bar is like double what this is worth. So then you're
Okay.
like 1,000 more EHP.
Okay. That makes sense.
It's like Rengar over Jinx is like your 2 Warmogs. You have 2 Warmogs on the board, and maybe Jinx is like you have like. I guess in terms of items, I would think Rengar means you have 2 more Warmogs on your board, and Jinx over Rengar probably means you have like in terms of more DPS. If you were to put that into a single item's worth, just to think about it as a comparison point, I would guess it's at most like 1 DB more than Rengar.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like how our decisions here are not really factoring in how many copies are out. I guess maybe from the people you played, is that how you're determining? I feel like we
think
haven't seen exactly how many are
so.
out. Because there's a world where you just roll there, right? Depending on how many
Yeah.
are out. But we
So
haven't
this
really.
guy
This
has
guy's I guess this
3.
guy's brand 2 and the other guy's brand 2. Okay, I can kind of see
Yeah.
it. That guy's brand 2. This guy's
I mean,
brand
I
2.
guess, yeah, probably should scout more deliberately, but
I guess given just those two facts, it's already
yeah,
like it's fucked.
yeah.
uh, unless we're thinking they will die. Is anyone dying here? This guy's not dying. What about the guy in 4-2? Is he dying? He is not dying. You're the one that's dying.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Then, um, yeah, it's just fuck. You
It's
just
just
levelly
doomed. Yeah.
play for fifth. Yeah.
I don't even know if I get close to a fifth.
I mean, you won this round. We fought a TF that still hasn't hit. He's sitting on 30 gold on 5-1. Oh my god! And he's he even has. I assume he has his dupe still because he took heroic grab back. All right. Viega, I just roll. Yeah, you have the now. This is a strong like this. These are the plus ones you should be playing. Typically, is the Ziggs Kabuko. I think Kabuko should be in the front, right, to give him some tankiness from strategist.
Yeah. Is it just not? I couldn't figure out with Stoneplate in this position. Oh, and because there's Sejuani's in the pool.
Oh, you want? I see. You don't want the unit here. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, so you at least get your brand to not get hit. Okay. 6. I mean, 6 is already you're like not that. Given how the line had like went. Oh, fifth. Wow, fifth is insanely good. I would expect the EV from this spot from stage 2 to be like 6, as I had said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Fifth, I feel like is pretty good. These guys just died super early.
And I don't think I came across any Vanguard Aphelios Saya players, huh? So that was definitely the open line I probably should pivot into.
Yeah, you're either 2-way Vex or 3-way Brand. Yeah, TF. I think Vex could have also worked out better than this line.
Especially
But
because I had that Vex in the mid game.
yeah, I don't think the Brand 1 is so good that you're willing to like play Street Demon over into a 4-way. I think the times you're willing to play like 3-4-way contest is when the 1-star copy is so broken.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Brand fits that neither Brand nor Nico fit that definition. It's just like the board overall is pretty good when you're 2-star everything, but on 1-star, I think it's still pretty shit.
Okay. So it's not like Callista or
Yeah, exactly. Like Callista 1, Rakan 1 with the items, it was so
yeah.
busted that you were going to 4-way. But here it's not the case.
Okay.
Is it still the case that the stats in them are so busted that they're that far head and shoulders above everyone? That's how it was before I took a break, but I was under the impression that would change over time. On GM Plus, it looks like it is like Brand has already dipped a lot. Like if you look at I mean, I guess it also is factoring in play rate to some degree because it's now contested.
Yeah.
Brand's only a 4-3 now, right? I mean, he's still better than everything else, but like I feel like initially it was like a 4-0, and Zyra was like a 4-0, but Zyra is now a 4.36, right? And Brand is a 4.3. This is in GM Plus.
Mm-hmm.
If we drop this to like Emerald, does this look? Yeah, see, like now Brand is in Emerald. Brand is underplayed, but in GM Plus, Brand is like are played appropriately and is no longer really like that amazing. Yeah. But part of that, as I was saying, is that it's contested, so it's making it worse, and because of that, not because he's not that good, obviously.
Okay, so in this, when I was trying to, I think the big decision point was the Shojin Slam and the point at which I could have straddled both lines, which I think in going back to the Shojin Slam, this very clearly probably would have been an easy top 4 if I had angled towards Aphelios and then just hold brands. If possible. Well, I guess that guy had rage. No, that was the TF player, right?
Actually, I think it actually extends even further back. If you had held this Hogma, it would also be easier to play with Aphelios.
Right.
Because your strongest board would be would be the Kog'Maw and the like. You could potentially go Stone Plate on Skarner if you really wanted to play strongest here, which you seem to want to.
Yeah.
You're in the zone. You're in the because you leveled, right? You look like you wanted to play. I guess you're also arguing in terms of gold, good for something value, but um, your items are more easily are more flexible. You can take glove, you can take bow for red buff, you can take. Ideally, it's glove here. You're like Stone Plate into like last whisper, IE, but it'd be a lot easier if you had held that over. Like this Morgana never even came into play, right? If you think about it, you're just minus two shop slots here,
Mm-hmm.
and that's because of your items, right?
Right.
I think just like be more intentional about like what you're committing to the board here, because I think you should always be willing to sell these, even if it's paired when your items don't even do anything with this unit.
Mm-hmm.
Unless I guess you're going for Shojin and then you streak, and I guess you get Shojin the Morgana, but that doesn't even sound that strong because you don't even have 2 items on the Morgana until stage 3.
Okay.
Okay, this one
Or did
is
I skip it again? I don't.
2-star. I think you skipped it again, but it's fine. I mean, you don't know. If you don't know it, you don't know it. 2-star unit's gonna be your shop. Okay. This one is okay. We're just looking at. I forget what yours is, but
I don't. I want to say it's okay for Vex.
oh, you're looking at other people's. Okay, it's kind of hard to. I think the items barely even matter for Vex, in my opinion. I mean, it helps when you have Hyper Fangs, but typically, like, it's just like if I have Vex items, I'm down to play Vex, and
Yeah.
if Brand is contested, I'm more down to play Vex. If I'm AP items, kind of logic. Okay, no Cypher this game. No Cypher orbs yet from other people. Hmm. Fine. I don't know if you have. I assume you don't have
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't have full stabilizer.
pulse. Yeah. Then here it's Alistar. Yeah, it's this plus Alistar pair. Why LeBlanc? Why are we selling LeBlanc over the Nitro?
Good question.
I feel like I'd rather sell Nitro here. Like what if we go lost into a 3-cost Nitro into a 3-cost Cipher on Carousel, where you just lose the out of Cipher? Or what if you find a 3-cost Cipher on level on 2-3, right?
Yeah.
And there's a chance you sell a block anyway, but I would rather just hold this out, unless you're trying to play on Nitro, which I don't really consider that much. If you don't have Pulse,
Yeah.
maybe you have Pulse. I don't know. It's possible.
I think maybe I was thinking if for some reason, like for example, if I don't know that this was actually what I was thinking, but because I have Slammable Hodge, and if I had a Shyvana drop with like some augment that allowed me to win streak with Nefiri, because it's still
Okay.
like reasonably strong.
I think you're all 1-starred, but I can sort of see your logic, but like it's all 1-starred. Whereas
Yeah.
the LeBlanc, yeah, I feel like because they're all 1-starred, it's like very unlikely it ends up being a win streak, and the LeBlanc is like a guaranteed 1 out of 3.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I buy it.
And you could still play this unit. You'd have, I guess, you have to sell Kindred and this unit. But yeah, I guess you would lose your. Yeah, I guess you don't just have Nefiri at that point. You can never win streak with just Nefiri. So okay, I can sort of see why what you're getting at.
Yeah, 'cause that's why I was holding jacks there.
You always roll right. This one's tempting if you're strong, but I feel like I would roll it because you're not strong.
Mhm. I mean, that's like a free level 5, right?
It's just you screw your odds of hitting all your
Yeah.
2-star 1 costs. Like I think it puts you in the spot where you're guaranteed to be like low HP by stage 4 and like not have any 2 stars. Or I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
like the spot very much. That take very much because your streak is completely fucked the whole game. I mean, not that I like prep a lot either, but in this spot,
Okay, I did
uh,
skip flatline.
I don't know if I like flatline much from this spot. I guess anyway, but I think I like cluttered here easily the most.
Yeah, cluttered into Vex.
Into one of the AP lines.
Yeah, Vex or Brand.
Vexor brand, yeah.
I think at this point in the J1, I also wasn't that comfortable with Vex either. So I was just
I
too
see.
hard
For
focused
forcing
on
brand.
Brand. Yeah.
I think this is fine. I don't think this is I mean, you got the upgrades, you got the pairs. I mean, I think this is good. You can slam
Heartbreaker.
yeah, guard. Do I like the level here? I guess it's for a 2-star Alistar. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Slam guard. I mean, it looks like you won anyway. 2-star Zyra, nice. You have it's Jinx over Echo, right?
Mm, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's definitely Jinx over. Oh, you're fixing the bug, but it's definitely Jinx over Echo because you have 2 frontliners already.
Yeah.
Okay. You probably hold this Mundo and Zyra because there's a chance you can 3-star them, right? Out of nowhere. Because of the portal.
Mm-hmm. I assume I do that.
Mundo.
Oh, maybe I didn't do that.
Mundo. And it's fine. It's not it just gives you an out for like if you don't find Nico 2, then Mundo 3 can hold your items, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not the end of the world if you don't have that out. Shojin adaptive probably, right? And just make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just make this. Why not? It's really Jinx over Echo.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I guess do you know what your like reasoning during the game as to why or like why you're like not making this connection?
My guess is I was probably thinking Street Demon signature gives more buff to Street Demon units, so might as well have that. But
Oh,
that
but no,
probably
but
doesn't.
you can put Jinx in this one.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know that. But yeah, balanced frontline, backline totally makes sense. We've talked about that plenty of times too.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, you should win majority of the early game with this. Jinx. So you can make econ here. You looks like you do. Nice. You have no one cost in shop. This is annoying. I like to sell some units here to like see your orbs, but then now you have to upgrade to a 2 cost. But like I think you have to do it here. It's kind of
Yeah.
annoying, but you don't mind holding Gragas, I guess, anyway.
Oh,
So
I should
it's
have
not
sold
that bad.
something because that orb could have given me.
Yeah, some units. It's fine though. It's not the end of the world. Probably just GS here. Yeah, I think this is the strongest board. I'll just make GS if you have to. Here, I'd make it. You made it. Nice. You still lost, but I would still make it here. Mm. You want what's a silver augment? So you can take whatever here. I forget how contested we are, but let's see. It's not Kingslayer. Backup can work with these hexes.
I think I was
Mm.
1 or 2 way contested.
One
This guy. And he has Cypher with more resources. Vex.
guy's Vex. The other guy has an Echo.
This
He's
guy.
banned.
And actually, the guy that was playing Nefiri will try to hold Nico's as well.
Yeah. I think I would play. I think I would take rolling for days here. Down. Yeah. I think double econ is a lot less bad when one when you're contested, and two when it's like one of them is silver.
Right.
You just wait
And
for combat on you.
specifically in this encounter, like where you can get higher 2-star odds.
Yeah. Okay. What's our component again? It's forgot. Cloak.
So like Spark, Stone Plate.
Yeah. Yeah,
Take it?
definitely Spark. And it's also Mordekaiser.
Okay, yeah.
Don't see anything else here. Let's see. Yeah, this entire time, I mean, yeah, this entire time it's been Jinx over Echo, but I mean, it's yeah. If you didn't see it before, it's definitely still not gonna change.
Oh, I wonder if that would have been fight diff against that Zaya player that I lost to on 3-1.
Oh, but maybe we could look. It wasn't that close though. It wasn't that close. I would guess not, based on what I remember from that fight. Yeah. Now you would be at 7 Mundos. Let's see if it's a diff. The one Mundo you didn't hold eventually for like Mundo 3. This one is so close. This one might. This is probably a Jinx diff. Yeah, this one is probably a Jinx diff. Okay, you plan to roll this turn, which is good. You can even roll like right now, but you probably should roll right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's fine. It's kind of hard when you're cluttered mind, like trying to hold one cost and all this stuff. So I can't really fault you for it. You drop JG here, really nice.
In
You're
fact,
just
with
GS on your duel.
Cluttered Mind, I should just sell and roll here.
Yeah, I think
And
so.
just forget about Cluttered Mind on this round, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I think Cluttered Mind actually screwed me here because I was like trying to keep the
One cost still.
yeah.
Oh, and you're still focused on Ziggs, I guess, as your other unit because you're not even holding the Mord pair. Or here you go. You have 7, and then
I'm like taking forever.
yeah, you have to roll now. Your advantage of having the chance to roll is you're denying the Vex. I mean, it's fine. Buy these 2 units. Yeah.
Like it's way too slow.
Yeah. I would just roll 0 here.
And then now I'm like, who do I sell? This is very painful to watch in hindsight.
Oh wait, why are we 6? Oh wait, huh? Oh, I see. Okay. This is I like this actually. Eco, nice. Actually, this is fine. You ended up like, I mean, you didn't roll fast enough to like play. This guy's wait, what is this guy? This guy playing Brand, but
Yeah, he's
why is he
playing
level?
Brand too.
Why is he
I don't
level
know.
6? Oh, weird. I would roll to 0 now
He
to
was
try to hit the Brand because you're
Cypher.
Brand paired.
Yeah. I still have 8 free rerolls. I don't know what I was doing just sitting on that. And then I think in the meantime other people are hitting their stuff.
Yeah, you're guaranteed uncontested now, and it's like, I mean, you are at high HP, I guess. So there's that. But you're free rerolls. I'd rather just Vex 3. I mean, you could, right? You could hold it here. Like, why not? You could actually instantly Vex 3. You have so much. You're still rolling for a while, right? I wouldn't even mind holding that there.
Really?
Wait, why not? You're
Just-
you're already guaranteed to roll. How much gold are you planning on rolling here? Isn't it a lot?
That's
You're
true.
planning
And
on rolling a
then
lot.
if I just don't hit the Vex 3, I just sell it. And I'm
Yeah,
basically
you
paying
lost 1 gold.
1 gold for
for
the option.
yeah, for a
Yeah.
win to win the game outright. I'm definitely
Yeah,
out.
I see that.
You also completely fuck all the other Vex players on this turn. You hold it the entire turn, you sell at the end of the turn. They're
Okay.
fucked. Yeah, because typically they roll to 0, right? What if they find 0 Vexes? You instantly won 2 placements over the 2 Vex players.
That's true. Oh, there were 2 other Vex players? I totally forgot that.
I think there are 2. Yeah, they're already unhappy with you on 4-1, and then 4-2, you hold 3 more, and then they roll 0, they're dead. Especially if one of them is these guys, you have to do it. Actually,
Okay.
if they're
Yeah.
41 or 28 HP, they're rolling now to 2-star it. You completely fuck their odds.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think this is pair of 4s. Right? You're lacking combat.
Yeah, I think I've been automatically skipping pair of 4s because I've been thinking that Ziggs belongs on the board, but Ziggs doesn't even.
Okay. I think pair of 4s is the best here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now you have literally 0 combat.
And I'm still like worried about the bug, the visual bug.
Oh, it doesn't matter. The bug. I don't think the bug's just visual. I think it matters a lot. I think
Wait,
you should be doing that.
really?
From what I remember, unless they patch something, when
Asa
you
was
move
saying
the
in the
unit,
Asa was saying in the chat that it's just visual, and that, or there were multiple people in our Discord that were saying when combat starts, it fixes itself. That
oh,
have
does
you
it?
have you
Oh,
seen it
I need
differently?
to look at that. I need to look at that. Okay, I didn't know that people were saying on combat start it's fixed. I'll have to take a look.
I actually
I
haven't
would.
verified.
Okay, yeah. I think I would just want to verify, but yeah. I mean, I can believe it if multiple people are saying it. I have to take a look.
Yeah, Asa said that as well, so I just trusted Asa at his word. But I should probably just
I would
confirm.
generally trust him as well. So yeah, that's fine. To like, I mean, yeah, ideally just check it, but yeah, in general, I would trust him anyway. So
Yeah.
it's fine. Here we want third item Nico. Probably adaptive is best. Just good for good against all boards. 4 cost units. D-Claw's fine. Is Even Shroud fine? Probably not, but I don't know if I'm down for this, but I mean it works out. Kabuko hold, or sorry, Ziggs hold. Yeah. I mean your spot here is pretty good. Like we have a lot of HP. You're lacking combat though, so it's hard to imagine winning without like a 3-star 4 cost. I guess if you get the Samira two, and Yumi level 10, then maybe you could.
And there should be Kobuko for Ziggs and itemize the Jinx.
Yeah, I think so for sure. You only have one remover, or you have 2 removers. Yeah, I'm down for that for sure. What is this hack? Open the hack. Open the hack.
What am I doing?
Buddy.
Because it could give me components, right?
Yeah, but it gives you, yeah, what if it gives you, yeah, it gives you components and give you the plus. I guess there's also like the plus HP stuff in your Nico, which doesn't change your component thing. Maybe you don't see it. I mean, I'm not trying to judge my green colorblind people here, so maybe you don't see the hack. Or
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, now it could change the logic, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Could it give me like a, I don't remember what the component, yeah, it could give me an adaptive.
Yeah, adaptive. Trying to go 10. Your HP is so high. What are we fighting? I'm just curious. On this, it's Vex 1. This guy's not bad though. I've seen him in GM at least. He's Vex 1. I mean, he's no econ, so it's not very surprising. This guy is Vayne 2 still.
Yeah, I told my wife I was gonna hang out with her a little bit tonight.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But maybe we can kind of just like skip really quickly through the end of the game. Just like maybe, I don't know if you could.
I assume you're level 10 with Yumi. Is that? Oh, your Zac. Yeah, Zac 2 is very good. Yeah, I think this is very good to play. Your double GS on the Samira, I assume, and 3 item the Zac probably. Oh, I'm actually not sure anymore if Kabuko or Zac is better here, but to itemize, because if you don't have that many blobs, then Kabuko is probably better. But once you get more blobs, I feel like Zac's always better. But
okay, so here's probably just like combat diff.
he only has 1 combat though. Let's see. He's a Samira 1. He's Ziggs 2.
Mana Zane.
Oh, he has Mana Zane. He has Mana Zane. I assume that's just better in this matchup. But I feel like you can win if you when you get more items and when you get more blobs. Are you denying a Sedge 3? I assume that's what you're doing here.
I believe so.
Yeah. I feel like you're rolling for blobs to really help. Let's see what the item is here. This is third item Kabuko, right? Warmogs probably.
Or Street Demon.
Was there a Street Demon? Oh, there is. Oh, yeah. You probably Street. Wait, what would we drop? With Street Demon, the Jinx.
Yeah.
Or Yumi.
Should be Yumi. Yeah, I didn't see Yumi. I didn't know that that was the cap version. Someone in my very limited follower group in Twitch was like Yumi. I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't looking at chat. It was after the game.
Yeah, when you're 3 items Samira, I mean 2 amp is not that big of a jump, but like it's still quite good because it's strategist, whole board, and Yumi.
Yeah.
I think Viego with no stacks, with Zach with no stacks might be better than. Oh, this is what you play for the street demon, yeah, which is good. Another body, Viego too. How bad can it be? How strong is this guy? Spirit Link. Oh, he's not that strong. I would expect he put up a good fight, but
do you ever just
you're
move the
left.
brand off the thing to avoid getting stunned?
I don't think it's doable with 7 street. I think you have to keep him on, which is really annoying.
In
I
which
think.
case, if I could take QSS off of Carousel and take off
Oh,
Guardbreaker, is that worth it?
Don't you just take out the Echo from this hex, and then he doesn't even get CC'd?
Is that true? I thought it was only on the other side.
If this hits this unit,
it doesn't stun Bryn. I thought it always did, even if.
Oh,
I thought it was only on other side.
Oh yeah, you're right. I think you're right. Yeah. You could like Nico middle, I guess, right? Nico middle, and you leave all these hexes empty, and this hedge walks over.
Yeah.
Because it's a 1v1, so like, oh, you beat him anyway.
Wait, really? I got first in this game? Oh, okay.
He didn't look that strong. He had like Gragas 1 with Warmogs.
Yeah. I totally forgot that I got a first in this.
Yeah, I think just early game, like your front line, back line balance. And then I think he played this game fine though. Like he took the good augments. He took most of the augments I would have taken, maybe not pair of fours, but I also think this comp uses a lot of items super well. So I don't think big grab bag is over a pair of fours is as bad as I'm making it out to be.
Yeah. So. The big thing was the stage 4-1/4-2.
Yeah, the roll down like taking too much time, I think. And
yeah, especially with cluttered, I think I just greed that too much. I feel like I should just ignore cluttered until I stabilize my board.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, cool. Thanks. This is super helpful. I think I'm gonna grind this week to make snapshot on day for trials.
So. Let's go. Me and you both. Let's get it.
Yeah, and Project Mentor is on Saturday as well. Tournament.
Awesome. All right, excited to follow.
So maybe I'll message you like maybe sometime tomorrow. We can schedule a follow up.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Good session. Catch you later. Peace.
Bye.